Ruth Lang for the Alliance Review. As the nation paused to reflect upon the tragedy of the September 11th attacks, area residents gathered together Sunday to pay homage to the victims and the heroes of that fateful day a decade ago. One of the many commemorations that took place in the Alliance area this weekend was a ceremony here at Memorial Park, where the City of Alliance, together with the University of Mount Union, prepared a patriotic program. Alliance's Day of Remembrance began with a walk to remember and a flag raising on State Street. The Memorial Park program included words from Mayor Toni Middleton, music by the Alliance High School Choir, a rifle salute by the Alliance Police Department, and an address from Speaker Terry Michaels from the ROTC office of the U.S. Army and Mount Union.
We gathered together this afternoon for the innocent victims, respective families and friends who forever suffer that loss of loved ones who were mothers, fathers, sisters and brothers of many faiths and who came from more than 80 nations. We especially want to remember the family and friends of Bill Ruth, who died at the Pentagon and now buried at Fairmount Memorial Park. We gather together this afternoon for all the world to see that we are a nation standing united.
We did not run and hide. Immediately after the attacks, those who protect us went into action. On September 11th, we saw our fellow Americans immediately respond to the attacks. First responders, firefighters, police, EMS rushed to the scene of the attacks and rendered aid to save lives. Into the flaming towers of the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, they rushed because citizens were in danger. Through Herculean efforts, they climbed the stairs of the World Trade Center, not to be heroes, though they were, but to help others in need. In spite of the fear of the situation, they carried on. General George S. Patton stated, "The courageous man is the man who forces himself, in spite of fear, to carry on." Those responders showed immense courage on September 11th. Although warned to evacuate the buildings, they did not. They stayed to continue to render aid, and many of them paid the ultimate sacrifice while doing this. Webster's dictionary defines a hero as someone who shows great courage. The firefighters and police that day exemplify the definition of a hero. In carrying on, they became our heroes. They gave all to save others. Let us remember the courage, the commitment, and the sacrifice of those who serve us today. When we are in need, they are willing to risk all for us. They deserve our gratitude and respect. They are the heroes among us. On this 10th anniversary of September 11th attacks, we are bringing portions of the World Trade Center here as a permanent memorial to those who lost their lives that fateful day. But no words, no ceremony, no monument will ever be able to replace those that were lost. What this memorial can do is provide us a solemn place to remember, to mourn, to reflect, and to carry on. Let this day and this memorial remind us to take nothing for granted, to cherish our freedoms, to count our blessings, and to strive to help our fellow human beings. The American spirit which burns in us is defined by our ability to reach out and help others. It is our ability to move forward even in difficult times when it's easier to quit. It's defined by our ability to rebuild, to be stronger and more united in purpose. As we look to this September 11th and every anniversary after this, let us not reflect on the human capacity for evil, but the capacity for good. Not the impulse to destroy, but the impulse to save, to serve, and to build. On this National Day of Service and Remembrance, we can exhibit the true spirit of America, the spirit to serve and to help others in our communities. In this way, we strengthen and better our country and in turn the world.
Artifacts from the World Trade Center towers were unveiled. The 13-foot-long pieces of metal will be incorporated into a 9/11 memorial for the city.
I gave a lot of thought about what kind of a design concept that would connect with our collective memory of that terrible week. So I searched my own memory, and the thing that stuck in my mind most wasn't the two planes crashing into the Trade Center. It wasn't the Twin Towers collapsing, that thump, 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 thump sound. It was an iconic photograph that the TV networks started showing about 3 days after the attack. It showed 3 aluminum panels rising up out of the rubble, splayed apart, pointing to the sky defiantly. And I thought it was saying, you can knock down our buildings, you can't knock down our spirit. So that was the motivation for a quick and dirty design that was sent off to the Port Authority. When Mayor Middleton and I arrived Wednesday morning at JFK Airport to pick up our artifacts, we were struck by the solemnity of Hangar 17, which housed all the artifacts that were to be distributed, and also how the Port Authority curators treated these artifacts with dignity, integrity, and almost with reverence. So here they are today, draped in an American flag, the Port Authority number of the artifacts, the picture that I so vividly remember, and also a rough design of hopefully how these artifacts will be displayed.
While tribute was paid to the servicemen and women who responded to the New York and Washington, D.C. attacks, local departments were also honored for their dedicated service to the community. For the Alliance Review broadcast team, I'm Ruth Lang.